to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to your favorite wrestling podcast's favorite wrestling podcast. It is That Wrestling Podcast. And it's crazy because we rearranged our schedule so that we could record on Wednesday at 9 p.m. So there won't be really anything AEW from TV because it's on right now as we are recording. And if you are an audio listener, I just did we in finger quotes because as you can see, I'm the only one here. Now, we knew Joe was going to be out. I forgot Kevin was going to be out. And Brian, shocker, late again. So I didn't want to wait any longer. I'm just starting the show. And if they show up, cool. And if they don't, that's cool too. But the big thing from the week, it's a slow week. And when we record on Wednesdays, it's tough to find content. So, of course, SmackDown debuted on USA Friday night. And for me, it was kind of a dud. Like the only thing that was cool was that Roman came back. Now, the Fox debut of SmackDown, we had Brock Lesnar destroying Kofi Kingston in 8 seconds. A huge moment that still gets talked about today. What else did we have from that episode? Cain Velasquez challenged Brock, which was a big dud. We had Tyson Fury taking part. We had The Rock and Becky Lynch and Baron Corbin. We'll get more into Baron Corbin later. But this one was not that great. Of course, the show started with Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa inside the solid steel cage. First 30 minutes of SmackDown were commercial free. So we were seeing the whole match. No problem there. But it was just a boring cage match, and Solo takes another L. We, of course, figured out later in the episode that potentially Jacob Fatu is becoming the man. Maybe he's the real tribal chief because we have a tag team match where Cody Rhodes reluctantly signed the contract to help Roman Reigns against Jacob and Solo, and that's at Bad Blood, October 5th in Atlanta. Other things that happened on SmackDown, looking at my notes here, Ricky from Seattle, viral sensation Ricky from Seattle, of course, was going to be Kevin Owens' teammate in his tag match against A-Town Down Under until we got word that he is here. He being Randy Orton. Randy Orton's music hits. Owens hits Ricky from Seattle's with a stunner. And we got a tag match. And I'm not sure what's going on with Waller and Theory. If they're not going to break them up and if they're not going to make Austin Theory the babyface, just send them to NXT. Just let them run wild over NXT for a while because I think that would be the best for that act. And then, like I said earlier, Roman Reigns returned, and we're getting the tag match at Bad Blood. And overall, for a debut episode on a new network, it wasn't very outstanding. It wasn't very new. It was very boring. Last week on the show, we talked about what could be a surprise, and I thought Goldberg. And boy, am I glad I was wrong for that. But what's interesting is that none of us thought about Dwayne coming back. It's his show, regardless of how you look at it and all the different ways you can look at it. But no Dwayne. All of his movie obligations for the time being are done. He filmed an MMA movie where he is unrecognizable. Like if you didn't know that was him, it's crazy. So I'm looking forward to that. There's a Moana 2 and a live action Moana. So those will be coming out in 2025. But yeah, so for me, it was kind of a dud SmackDown on USA. Hopefully things will get better. Of course, there was rumors of 3 hours of SmackDown. We got the word that in a few weeks, Raw is going to 2 hours, which is exciting. But let's go to Raw from this past Monday. pretty good show. I enjoyed the Breaker Uso promo leading up to this match at Bad Blood, it's next week on Raw. I don't think there's any way Jey Uso wins, right? I mean, it's this big story of main event Jey Uso has never won a singles title. So much like Brian has questioned, how much longer can Jey Uso be main event if he doesn't win the big one or is in the main event, saying that being the last match of the night. We also got the Monster Mash meat match. Braun versus Bronson turned into another battle, which was amazing. I like those monster fights. And of course, CM Punk, big promo, brought out the CM Punk sucks shirt. If you're watching on YouTube, you see it. If you're listening, I bought this CM Punk sucks shirt years ago, but it was from his Pro Wrestling Tees store. So he's in on it. He got the $6 or whatever you get per shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees. I don't actually know. I'm just picking up a random number because I know our retailer, we get $9 per. And, whatever. He got the money for the shirt. It's a fun shirt. People love to talk about it whenever I wear it. And after the killer promo on Monday night, and he promised to take Drew to hell. Well, no shit, dummy. You're in a Hell in a Cell match, so you're kind of required to be there. So it'll be interesting to see. Will someone die? Will someone bleed? Is this the new era of cage matches? Hell in a Cell? We will find out. And another Punk story. I got to get my phone out to discuss this one. He made a comment about wrestling fans. Shocker, right? This is from NoDQ.com. CM Punk calls out wrestling fans that follow him and others at airports for a meet and greet. Now, we've seen the videos of Rhea Ripley getting harassed, and there was one recently that I thought was interesting where Rhea Ripley was talking to somebody on camera. KO walks by, and he just hit her with that, "You all right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm good." So it's good to see that the boys in the back are sticking up for the women in the back as needed. But I'm pretty sure anybody that Rhea Ripley was talking to at an airport, she could probably kick their ass, including the 4 guys on this show and the 1 guy actually at this show this week. Here's from CM Punk on Instagram. "Hey, guys. Gimmick infringement. Love y'all, but friendly reminder to respect privacy and boundaries. Airports are not a meet and greet. If I have to ask you to please stop following me multiple times, you have crossed a line. Please stop this. Thank you. And stop using your children as a shield or an excuse." And that last part, I think, is the one. That's the big line. Because you people that have parents or have kids, I know from personal experience where I've seen people do this with kids. "Oh, my son would like to get a picture," or most likely the son doesn't even know who the person is. So I was just like, yeah, CM Punk teaching life lessons. And if you've been listening to this show long enough, my CM Punk life lesson story. And if you are new, one of our new subscribers on YouTube, thank you. We just hit over 4,200 subscribers. And if you are new via audio, I will tell you the story, I guess, on YouTube and audio and video. I will tell you my quick CM Punk life lesson story. And it says a little bit about who I am when it comes to this show, the guys and the way I view things and where they don't. I was so excited when CM Punk signed his deal to fight in the UFC. I was living on the West Coast. It was in Cleveland, and I flew to Cleveland to see this because my favorite thing about MMA, anything can happen. Anybody can get knocked out. Anybody can catch the hands at the UFC. So the big story going into CM Punk's fight, one of them was What is his entrance music going to be? Now, of course, Cult of Personality, he was synonymous with the WWE. I believe there was a Killswitch Engage song prior to that, but everybody knows him, Cult of Personality. He would not give up anything he did all the rounds for MMA Media and would not talk about his song. Now you have to find out. So that day, me and friend of the show, Doc, we went over to the arena. They usually do like a little fan fest, depending what city you're in the parking lot. But I wanted to go into the pro shop to see if they had any UFC merchandise in there, and they did not. However, in the pro shop, you could hear them sound checking in the arena. Cult of Personality. And what does a guy do at that time when he has information? You go straight to Twitter. You try to be first. I was that guy. So we walk outside and we're walking back to our hotel through downtown Cleveland, and we see CM Punk and AJ Lee walking down the street. Now, we weren't following them per se. They were walking the same direction we were going. So I tweeted, hey, I was in the arena and they were sound checking Cult of Personality. And then when I clicked to tag CM Punk, I was blocked. So why don't I do spoilers on this show, on my socials? Why do I hate spoilers? Because I was one of those idiots on social media thinking I had it first. And I learned my lesson. So thank you, CM Punk, if you're ever out there. I hope you enjoy the $9.12 you got from this t-shirt I bought from you. And your promo was pretty awesome. And much like I said on Women's Wrestling Talk this past Monday, I really enjoy CM Punk in WWE in comparison to his time in AEW. Just because you can do what you want and say what you want doesn't always make good TV. And we learned that with Punk. We're learning that with Mercedes Moné right now. And needless to say, I forget how I got here. But Brian, 23 minutes late as of now. What else do we got here? Saturday night's main event is returned. Long Island, New York, December 14th. Tickets go on sale. If you're listening on Friday, they are on sale right now, WWE.com. The interesting thing in the promo, they used Obsession by Animation. Or is it Animation by Obsession? I don't know. You know the song. There's some old classic clips. But what I don't love about Saturday Night Live or Saturday night's main event returning, and if you're a guy of my age, you'll understand why I'm not happy with the fact that it's going to be at 8 p.m. Now, original OG SNME guys like myself, they know Saturday night's main event always preempted Saturday Night Live. And that means it was on at 11:30 p.m. Now, it's not going to be that big of a deal, but it just would have been cooler, a lot cooler, if that show would air at 11:30 p.m. instead of 8 p.m. on December 14th. And the big thing that I've seen online about this, one man posted the googly eyes, and that was Matt Cardona. He's from Long Island. Could this be his return? His wife, Chelsea Green, who is huge in the WWE's eyes. We saw her have that first match with Julia last week. The hell she's gone through from Money in the Bank and everything since. You know, they like to have their couples together in WWE. So if Cardona would return, I believe Chelsea is SmackDown. So her Cardona most likely would go to SmackDown, which would be good for him. USA, a lot of exposure. He's still doing his thing. He has returned from his injury. He's the GCW general manager, making towns, hitting indies all over. It'll be interesting to see if he returns. Yeah, just speaking of things that we'll see what happens. I just got a text from Brian. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. No one can say I'm a slave driver. Like, I'm not their boss, but like, this is my thing. This is my thing that we all came up with collectively, but I kind of took the reins as the top dog. I just texted Brian. He was supposed to be here at 9 p.m. It is now 9:26. And I get a text that says, sorry, bro, I'm good in 10 minutes. So I wrote him back and I said, no worries. I'm doing the show now, halfway through. If you want to miss, that is okay. I'm pretty reasonable. And I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't done a one-man show in a while since the Bray Wyatt passing episode. So it's been a little over a year now. So this is kind of fun. Let me know in the comments what you think of the one-man show comparison to the four-man show that we normally do on Fridays. This is episode 204. We've never missed a week. I am so goddamn proud of that. Brian's been talking about recent weeks. We're trying to increase our interaction with you, the listener, or the viewer if you're on YouTube. And I've come up with a way for us to do that. So we would love for you guys to start leaving comments on YouTube, wherever you're listening on audio, if that's your thing. And then what we would love for you to do is screenshot your comments, send them to us by Gmail, thatwrestlepod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Twitter, X, or Facebook at thatwrestlepod. And we will once we get a few in, we'll start picking winners and we will send out free That Wrestling Podcast t-shirts if you leave the comment and send the DM to let us know what you think of the show, the guys, the content. What can we do to improve it? Any kind of comment, send it. We'll pick one random winner. Now, here's the caveat. There's two. I have a box of t-shirts in my closet. Now, this will be while supplies last, if I have your size or not, and then more importantly, lower 48 of the United States. Shipping a t-shirt is not going to be cheap if it's overseas. I've sent to my guy Simon, but I don't have a problem with that because he's my dude. So leave some comments, send us a screenshot of the comments, and then maybe next week we'll start picking one random winner to get a free That Wrestling Podcast t-shirt. Now, if you are overseas or in some other country and you want a That Wrestling Podcast t-shirt, whatamaneuver.net. Just search That Wrestling Podcast. You will come to our store and we will be good to go. So it is Wednesday. Earlier, I watched the 15-minute documentary FS1 did on Tony Khan. Remember, during the NFL draft, he took the pile driver from the Young Bucks. He was showing up on camera in a neck brace because he was hurt. But the thing was, at the time, it wasn't really, at least I didn't catch it. They made sure that Dynamite and Collision were in Jacksonville the week of the draft. He had to be there. He is a stats and analyst guy for the Jaguars. And what came out in the video was that his focus toward is undrafted free agents. So those are the college players. Obviously, they don't get picked. And he's battling with 31 other GMs or teams to try to get these unsigned and drafted free agents. And his claim to fame is in the last 10 years, every year he's had one undrafted free agent make the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, they're not very good. I could probably make their team, and I am the least athletic out of the four of us on this show. But it was a cool mini documentary to see behind the scenes and stuff like that. And I know I give Tony, some grief about being a virgin and not knowing how to book the women's division, but I get it, man. You work 16 to 18 hours a day. You got a lot of big things on your plate, but man, just let RJ City book the women's division already. Orange Cassidy came out today and said, hey, we've got the greatest women's division. Well, you have a really good women's division. You just don't have someone that knows how to work with those women. RJ City is that guy. We were said the Tony Storm, Mariah May storyline was all RJ City. And look how perfect that was. Now, I don't believe every storyline will be perfect with RJ at the bill, but it'll be a lot better than what has been going on. Some other AEW news. Dustin Rhodes' contract is set to expire. We don't really talk contracts and free agency that much on this show like we used to, but this is a big one because just the way the world is right now. When Dustin Rhodes left WWE in 2018, he was on the first Double or Nothing in Vegas. I was there, and that was the match against Cody where they got all bloody and Cody needed his big brother for it to be a team against the Young Bucks at the next pay-per-view or whatever. But ever since, I mean, Dustin Rhodes has been going strong the whole 5 years of AEW. So his contract is set to expire at the end of September, which is 13. Well, it'll be 11 days if you're listening to this on Friday. But what do we do with Dustin Rhodes? I mean, the obvious thing would be to him to go back to WWE, help Cody in some way, or maybe we think he's there to help Cody, and he turns his back on his baby brother, and we get that rematch from Double or Nothing at, I don't know, Fast Lane. I'm sure that one's coming up, but interesting to see. So what do you think? Dustin Rhodes stay at AEW, Ring of Honor, where he's a double champ right now, or does he return to WWE, help his brother ride off into the sunset? One Last Ride was on his T-shirt when he first got to AEW, and I think the One Last Ride could be in WWE. And if he goes back to WWE, is he Dustin Rhodes? Is he Gold Dust? I would love another Gold Dust run, but not sure if that is in Dustin's plans for the future. Brian says he is going to be here. And I told him, if you want to stay out, stay out. So I'm going to take a little drink of my water here. And we're going to talk about JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield. He's been popping up all over the independent world. GCW was where his first return came. He's been showing up at TNA to help Nick Nemeth, the TNA champ, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. Storyline to be defined by Baron Corbin. Remember, Baron Corbin was the modern day wrestling god. JBL was the spokesman. Didn't really go anywhere. So JBL is just whipping everyone's ass. Still looks great. I don't know. He's probably in his 60s by now, but god damn, he is killing people with the clothesline from hell. I think it's funny that he put out there that he did not want his final run to be defined by Baron Corbin. I love Baron Corbin. I have the modern day wrestling god shirt. Really, I do, which is no surprise. I was actually at my storage facility. I am up to 15 totes of wrestling shirts. And that doesn't count what's in my closet, what's in my dresser, what's in my 3 shelf that I have. So I got to get into that. I know we talked on the 300th episode about maybe expanded into new shows, new content topics. Joe's a collector, Kevin's into video games, Brian's, Brian, and he's always late. So that maybe he can do something with that where he's going to be on and then is late. I don't know. But the collecting stuff, I kind of think I could go down that road with my shirt collection because everybody loves wrestling shirts. And the fact that, I have all these bins of wrestling shirts, I would even be open to selling them if needed. Are you here, Brian? Cannot hear you. Yeah, cannot hear you, Brian. And if you are just an audio listener, Brian is here, but we can't hear him. And that is not on me. I believe that is on you. But yeah, so while he's figuring this stuff out, Let me know. Like, are you seeing like, would you like to see? Are you a wrestling merch guy like I am? Are you someone that wants to know about all these old random shirts and where I got them? Remember, I've lived a lot of different places, in adulthood. So like I've been in LA and I've been to Dallas and I've been to different events in different cities and different states. I got them all. So maybe we'll get into that. The end of 24, maybe even the future of 25. Brian, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Hey, it's about fucking time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, 36 minutes late, fucker.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's do 9. Let's do 9. God damn it, dude.
I'm the worst.
You are.
I'm the worst, man.
So we were just talking about
appreciate you holding down the fort.
Yeah, you'll hear. So
somebody's got to do it.
We're just talking about we as in me, because I was the only one here. Dustin Rhodes, his contract is about to expire at the end of September, which is only 10 days away. What do you think happens? Your internet freezes. Awesome.
Wait, what's 10 days away? Yeah. God, 10 days away is what? Bad blood?
No. Your internet's terrible. Dustin Rhodes, his contract is about to expire. 10 days. What does he do? What does he do?
Yeah.
Internet's so bad. Are you talking?
Man, this is freezing. Let me see. I think if you can see or hear me.
We got you now.
I think he goes WWE. I do.
Is he Dustin
I think
Rhodes
he comes back home.
Is he Gold Dust? Oh, it froze again. It's a hard-hitting question.
That I'm a little more torn on. I mean, can he pull the like the Faces of Foley thing where he's like Dustin backstage and occasionally he's Gold Dust? Can that be a thing?
I don't know. I mean,
I'd be down for it.
I would,
but
I said I would.
I don't know. It does feel like Gold Dust would be a little
awesome. Yeah, it is. It would be. It'd be fucking amazing if Gold Dust came back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, one of the last couple things I got that you knew about, if you even checked your email, UFC 306 was this past weekend. It was at Sphere in Las Vegas. I watched it live. Did you watch it live, Brian?
I did. Sleep was winning me over quite a bit. I was in and out quite a bit, but I still was there through the end of the O'Malley fight. I whenever I'd fall asleep and I'd get back up, and that's when I texted you the next day. I'm like, "Did you watch it all?" Because that went on till like what 1:45 in the morning.
It ended at 2. And it's because they had those movies in between the matches. And I mean, yeah, that's the worst thing about living in Pittsburgh for me. Because when I was on the West Coast, those pay-per-views would start at 7 p.m. And I over by 10, 11, fucking amazing. So that's the hardest part about me being here so far. But like what I'm getting at is the experience from watching it on TV of the backgrounds and the screens and all that stuff. What do you think of that?
It's really impressive. It's really impressive. I don't know much about like the origin of how the Sphere came together.
Yeah.
But anytime they would do like the big wide shots of seeing the video and you see the octagon and it's so little. It's so little. And you see these just giant screens of the Mexican heritage videos that they were doing. It's like, God damn. And I texted you again. We were texting the next day. I said, was it an edible night?
Oh yeah, it was. Oh, it was such an edible night. And then it tripped me out because fucking walls are moving and I was doing a new edible that was a little stronger than the past. Like, yeah, it was crazy. I haven't had a chance to go back and watch yet, but like, if you did not watch UFC or you haven't seen anything, or if you don't know anything about Sphere, It's basically a movie theater where they can put a stage on the ground, and then the wall behind the stage is a giant, like a million LED screens or some crazy number. So what they did, they would change the background, and each fight would be like in a different coliseum or a different, war space. It's basically the Thunderdome with real people.
Yeah, great call.
So definitely go. I don't expect you to pay $89 for the pay-per-view or whatever it costs, but go YouTube some highlights from UFC 306 because just the visual spectacle of it is what made it awesome for me. And I bring this up. Everyone's like, oh, WWE has to be there. I don't think WWE will do an event there because there's not enough entrance for grand entrance other than the screen. And I feel like that would take away because probably can't do pyro in there, right? Like, do you remember seeing pyro?
No, I don't. Just
Yeah.
video.
Yeah. So I don't know if WWE ever would go there, but I thought it'd be a fun idea to come up with what event would be there. I'm not going to say another word. I'm going to let you just talk about what you think because I have reasons why things wouldn't happen and stuff like that. And I don't want to shit on something if that's your idea.
Let's go big. Let's do Cody Roman 3. Let's go big. I think that was maybe the detriment of the UFC card, and it had a couple title fights. And O'Malley, is I'd say probably a top 5 UFC recognizable star behind Conor McGregor and a John Jones, and maybe one or two others possibly. He might be number 3. But yeah, to me, watching that, the atmosphere of just what the sphere is was the draw, right? And like that was what the spectacle was. So if you want to have a match to kind of try to get to that level, I mean that's the thing. Whether you were a Cody guy or a Roman guy like you at 39, both those matches are so fun, and the crowd is invested. There's a buzz in the air when those two guys have gotten together the 2 times. So, not saying it's likely, but boy, if you could put them together, I'd be all about it.
So is this WrestleMania? Is this Friday Night SmackDown? What is this? Bragging rights? When does this happen? What event does this happen?
Yeah, I mean, what about now that we know that Saturday night's main event is coming back? What about a future one of that? It's on NBC.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're getting that broadcast reach. I think that there's a cool appeal to that. Obviously, they have their ties in now with Netflix coming up. They could do it on Peacock as a PLE. That's all the same family with NBC. But I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool to have the spectacle of the sphere under the main, mainstream banner of an NBC on a Saturday night. Imagine Obsession playing at the Sphere.
Obsession's the song, right? Animation's the band, right?
Yes. Yes.
So earlier I'm like, wait a minute,
Exactly.
is it animation or is it Obsession? Anyway, so you're thinking you went a little further than I was going to say.
Okay.
I would okay, so if they didn't fuck it up by saying it's going to be in New York, have the first Saturday night's main event at the Sphere. You do Cody Roman 3. Then that sets up Dwayne Rock for Netflix 2 weeks later. Or whoever has the belt and Dwayne. But my idea was going to be way different. I would like to have the next Evolution pay-per-view at the Sphere. All women.
That's cool.
do something fresh, something new with them that, well, I mean, it would be with everyone, but like, but again, if they're going to do a show there, everyone's getting on the card. They're not going to just put out women for the first one. Maybe if they develop a relationship, but a lot of people don't think wrestling can happen there because, like I said, the floor area is not as big. So the fact that they had 16,000 at Sphere for that, I imagined if it were to be W, it would kind of probably be this, maybe 15. I don't see it would be more because seats are seats, and it would just depend on the entryway. But it's Thunderdome, or it's the Thunderdome with people. That was the best way to describe what Sphere is.
And those video packages were incredible.
Yep.
Right? I mean, like,
can you imagine WWE's people putting those things together?
Took it right out of my mouth, my friend. Yeah, I'm just thinking that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Let's put that production team to put that together. I mean, I might have to take an edible for I might have to.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I hope it happens. I do. Yeah. I do. That Sphere is, the only other thing I've seen from there is like, I know U2 was like the opening house band, if you will, and did a residency.
Dead and
Company.
You'd see some clip. Dead and Company did another one.
Yep.
And that was real trippy. I saw some of those videos. And then I guess throughout the month of December, the Eagles are going to do a residency. I think 16 shows.
Okay.
So,
It's
definitely cool.
It's so impressive. You sent your sister-in-law from her hotel room.
Yeah,
looking at the Sphere.
Yeah, so my sister-in-law was,
just from the outside, you're just like, what the hell is this?
Well, yeah, crazy. The outside is crazy, and I don't know. I'm curious if Vegas PD, if it'd be public record on how many auto accidents happen on that road, because the thing on the Sphere, it moves, and it could be a giant fucking eyeball, and then it could be an explosion, and then it could be like, butterflies and unicorn. Like, I guarantee there have been auto accidents right there on that intersection.
Completely. Mm-hmm.
I haven't been to, it's been a while since I've been to Vegas, so I haven't been there since the Sphere has become a thing. Life, taking over and stuff. But yeah, I definitely want to get out there again. But the problem is, any event at Sphere, the tickets are going to be through the roof. So we're going to see Brock Lesnar guy. We're going to see green Kool-Aid shirt guy. Vladimir, if he still shows up, the guy in the suit from the Jericho cruise. Like, I mean, it's just going to be the big ballers that get the opportunity to go to Sphere.
Like you said, 15, 16,000. Like, that's a regular arena, right? Like, if that's an NBA arena size, so you're gonna be able to sell it out. So tickets will probably be $600 for the
last row
nosebleed or something.
All right. Well, I'm getting ready to wrap this up because you were late. I was going to talk about something, but I guarantee you've never watched Heels. So I'm not going to talk about Heels on Netflix. Stephen Amell said that if the viewership on Netflix goes well, it will be potential for a season 3, kind of like how Netflix saved Cobra Kai. Originally, Cobra Kai was a YouTube Red exclusive.
Right.
I got drunk one night.
That's right.
I got the free 1 week trial, watched all the episodes of Cobra Kai, and then deleted my account. So if with Heels going to Netflix, Stephen Amell said there could be a third season. CM Punk this is what got CM Punk back in the ring. He plays Ricky Rabies in Heels. So, and then I listened to Stephen Amell on Chris Van Vliet last week, and he was on Masked Man show too. They're hoping that they can get another season, which would be awesome because it kind of just ended. It was one of those shows that it just ended. So that was that. And we also could get interaction between the Heels characters on Netflix and the Raw people on Netflix. Amell had a match with Cody at SummerSlam many years back. Like, Amell had a match at All In. He did some stuff with Ring of Honor. There really could be something here, which is nice. Go check out Heels season 1 and 2 on Netflix. I was going to talk about it, Brian, but with you here, I'm like, oh, well, there's no chance in hell he's watched Heels, so I wasn't going to do it. But then I thought people have been here for 36 minutes, so they deserve to know more about Heels on Netflix. I will ask you real quick, what did you think of the lackluster SmackDown debut on USA? It's your internet, not mine, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was fine.
Exactly.
It was fine. It was not. It was not blow away. What when we knew that Cody and Solo were opening the show, that seemed to be the main clue of like we're getting something huge to end. And while I think the Cody Roman link up and set up for the match at Bad Blood with Jacob and Solo, I think that's fun. I mean, I think it was earlier in the day. You texted because we were talking about it on the pod. I can't believe no one thought about Dwayne. And it was like, yeah, it's makes sense. It's the debut of USA SmackDown. Makes sense. So I wasn't I wasn't disappointed, but it definitely wasn't, it wasn't as good as I thought it potentially could have been. I mean, Jay, you were at the first SmackDown on Fox. You talk about how that went.
And I did 25 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, so I have to say no more, right? But you walked away from that episode going, "Whoa," because we had something big with Cain Velasquez there and the title change. So it was it was fine. I enjoyed the show, but it wasn't memorable in the sense of a debut for a new network.
Right. So, anything else you want?
I also want to say Braun Breaker rules. Yeah, yes. Braun Breaker rules. Whoa. I mean, he is just, his promo work is really good. He comes across as such a badass. And just, him in the ring speaks for himself with just the,
wow. Are you going to buy, are you going to buy a Braun Breaker shirt? Is that what I'm hearing? He has some cool ones.
I gotta see what what does he have? There's a whole lot of dog merchandise.
And I mean, there's a Wolf Dogs one, I think, from when him and Corbin teamed together. Probably
that might be on clearance discount.
Yeah.
No, I walked away. I see a lot of people, you talk Jey Uso, and he's so popular. Everybody does the fucking yeet, right? But there's okay. Well, yeah, you're too cool for school, and that's all good. There's people online that I see that they miss like the Jey Uso of the bloodline, cutting those big promos. And we got a glimpse back of that on Monday when he called out, when him and Braun went back and forth and said, like, yeah, I was winning titles when you were in diapers. Your reign's going to be as short as your football career was.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, this is good. Besides just the like, I'm going to go to Backlash. Yeet. I'm going to go win the match. Yeet. Like it's popular. Clearly people love it. But we got a glimpse of Bloodline Jey Uso that I always see people online going like, I miss that guy. That's the guy that who would fight Roman and do his thing with Sami Zayn and KO. That you're like, that's the guy that I really gravitated toward. So that's coming up on Monday. I'd still say odds on or Braun wins. But like I've said before, are you going to be main event Jey Uso and never win a main event? You got to win sometime, right?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yeah.
Don't bullshit me, man. Yeah, come on. So that was my biggest takeaway from Raw. It was a good show, but Braun could be the guy. It may not be in 6 months, it may not be in a year, but I think he's got it all. He's great.
I don't know if babyface. I don't know if good guy Braun. I don't know if it works.
He's like in this weird spot, right? Because he's he's the heel. People want Jey Uso, but when he comes out and goes like, "Do I got
Everyone
any dogs
barks.
up in Portland?"
Everyone
barks.
Yeah, all the marks bark. That's what they do. Like,
Right.
I mean,
So
yeah, it's hard to
we're
tell.
in this weird spot with him.
I mean, he might have to like go kill someone's dog or something. You know, cook Larry
Dog on
on
dog
the grill.
crime.
Yeah, cook Larry on the grill back there in catering. But yeah, so this week's been a little bit different show. It's episode 204. Brian, I broke some news. You know, we're talking about trying to interact a little more with our people, the viewers and the listeners. So I had cleared a giveaway.
Ooh,
People,
good.
yeah. So if you are, I'll say it again. If you forget, on YouTube, audio podcast, wherever you go, because all that stuff really helps us out in the end. And my internet is unstable. Damn it. There we go. I thought it was Brian's internet that was
spreading to you.
Yeah. So the deal is, if you leave a comment, take a screenshot, send it to us on Gmail or DMs on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We'll pick a random winner and they will get a t-shirt while supplies last, while sizes last, and only in the lower 48 of the United States, because I'm not paying shipping to somewhere really far. So it's a free t-shirt, a free That Wrestling Podcast t-shirt coming your way. Just send us the info and we will, maybe if we can get enough, we'll do a random poll next week on a show that hopefully all four of us will be here. Did I lose Brian? Are you there? I think, God, I don't even know where the hell. I don't even know where the hell Brian is, but his Wi-Fi sucks. Are you here to close this thing out? He's there now. I can see it. No.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, I got the unstable thing. Got me.
Close it. Close out the show. Let's end this.
That kind of a night.
Yeah, let's end
YouTube.com/That Wrestling Podcast, at That WrestlePod social media, whatamaneuver.net for your merchandise. Don't forget about that free shirt contest Jay just mentioned. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, enjoy wrestling.
You didn't even comment. I wore my old glasses.
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow at That WrestlePod on social media.